I'm gonna do a reading. I don't have that microphone on me right now. Hopefully you can hear me. I may glance for the first time at the comments area. If you feel like saying something. Okay. And I'm also gonna shuffle. Normally I do it before I get on because I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I thought like I'll just treat this like we're just hanging out, and it's okay if it's long. So this is the Mother Peace deck. I'm not gonna like shuffle up here so you can see, but I'm look at this guy. I hope everybody's doing well, and oops, doing okay during this time of great change. Oops. Okay, these guys and this guy. I'll do one more. Oops! Oh my gosh! I was like, cards are being bossy. Okay. And then I have this adorable mini deck of the Rider-Waite, which is so cute. It's like super tiny. My nails are not done, so I can't like close to the screen. I never think of that. Plus, I was handling turmeric, so I have like bright yellow on my hands too. It's like a hot mess, and I'm in a sweatshirt. Usually I try to have a fun top for your sake, so at least something's good about the video. But it's like a no pressure video this one. Okay, there's like so many cards that I'm taking out, so this may take a while. But I've noticed on the internet there's a lot of different types of videos people watch that are not necessarily entertaining. Like they just have like noises or someone eating. Personally, I really don't like hearing the sound of people eating, so I cannot watch those. Oops. And with the ASMR videos, like I like certain sounds and not others, I guess. Like I like the crispy sounds, I guess, instead of the mushy ones. But I don't spend a lot of time on that stuff. I just noticed it exists. All right. Okay, I'm getting not this one. So I'm gonna Ascended Masters. I don't know if she'd ever watch this video, but I'm gonna say hi to her into she because I'm handling her deck right now. She's done so much good work. Okay. And I'll do one Remy card too. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna read that comment, but I have to put on my glasses. Aw, that's really sweet. They make me blush. Okay. Maybe that's good. All right. I'll try to stay focused. That nice compliment in French. All right, here we go. So one of the themes is the victory of Mariam. I'll let you look at that while I look at that book. What number are we? 41. I'm gonna look at the picture too. Oh, it's kind of sweet. I mean, when I look at this card, let's let you look at it one more time. Okay. I feel like she's really wanting to connect like with a real person, like the spirit of Mariam in this depiction, and it could be male or female. But there's like a need for real contact and like maybe like dare I say like breaking the rules a bit, because like right now with COVID there's this gulf between people that you'd have to cross in order to like reach across here. So I don't know if that's like over the internet or in person, you know, safely masked and everything. Like there's like a real need to connect, and like quite a longing that's going on there, because there's been some pain, like passion, that if your passion is so strong and you have no outlet for it, it just feels like a fire and it's not like productive. So it's like this spirit is like escaping that the pain of the unused passion, and just deciding like, okay, I'm gonna connect. Like maybe it's you're wanting to be more brave now, you know, say or do things that like are out of your normal, not bad behavior, but like let's say you're shy and you decide like to really speak your mind and explain like what's on your heart to someone, and they can take it or leave it kind of thing, but at least you reached out. So I feel like there's confirmation that like it will help you like deal with this like stored frustrated passion. And when I say passion, I don't necessarily mean like sexual. Sure, that can be an element of it, but it's like even when you're in love, or like it's like a burning sensation that's meant to be like life giving, energy giving. But if you can't like expend that energy in the right way, then it's just going to be a source of pain and frustration. So find like another outlet, whether it's like reaching out, communicating with people, telling people what, you know, what's on your heart, or bringing some creative project like to the public. Like right now, like maybe it's not even completely finished, but it's in a state that is good enough to at least like start the dialogue about this thing that you're creating and what you want to say, and like building your audience and stuff. So really that's like the theme of like the general feeling. Well, I didn't even look at like what the book has to say about this. I guess I'm just like blind as a bat. Okay. Okay, 41. Is this even the right page? Okay. All right. I don't look at this book that often, so I don't know it like the back of my hand yet. All right, here we go. Right, so it has like a poem-y kind of thing, like because it's the Rumi Oracle and he's a poet. So in English anyway, if you're longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. If you are not ill, why do you crawl under a blanket to hide? You're in a quarry of sweets. Why do you look so sour? You live in the spring of life. Why are you withered inside? Don't fight against yourself. Don't flee from what could be your glory. Like a fearless moth, dive into the flame. Why be linked to your obsessions? Burn out in the flames until your heart and soul are enlightened. Get out of the old carcass and form yourself a new body. Why are you afraid of a fox when you descend from lions? Why be a lame ass when you have the strength of stallions? The beloved you seek will arrive to open the door to your fortune, for love is the key that opens all your locks. Yeah, so like, since love is like the essence of the universe, everything. It's like you should be brave in expressing that. And I don't mean like love in terms of like controlling, like I love you, therefore you should love me back. Like it's a gift, and you can express it to someone or about like a project or anything that you're passionate about. It's always a gift. It's not like, well, if I say I love you, you have to say it back, or you shouldn't even be asking for any type of reply. Otherwise, it's not a gift, right? But it's nice if things work out, and if they don't work out, it's nice too, because like there's a better plan, there's a better person, there's a better timing if it's still the right person but the wrong time. So you just can't question divine timing, or you can just be more general about it. It's like, I like love, I'm ready for love. Like you don't have to say like this specific person has to be the one. Like maybe they're actually like the worst choice and you don't know any better. Like let spirit surprise you with like what is even inconceivably like a better choice, so, that you never would have even dared to dream to have. So you just have to trust and let people have their freedom. And if you feel like expressing love in a way that is not oppressive, just one way, no expectations, then that's fine. Okay. So then we have these two other cards. Thanks. That's nice. Okay. So this is a card trust. And we also have positive changes. I'll let you look at this. Like, I have one friend that like gets mad that they can't look at the card too. So I'll just let you look at that for a second. All right. It's kind of funny, like the expression that Vishnu has in this card is like a bit blasé. I'm sorry about my nails. It's like, oh my god, especially when it's like a close up. It's kind of a form of cruelty from me. I'm sorry for you to have to see that. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like right now you have some really good ideas that are just like in the beginning stages, and you have maybe some people around you, like these snakes around his head, like the gallery giving their 2 cents, like voicing doubt, from their version of reality, which is not your version of reality. So it's like, yeah, you can go through life with this sort of Medusa of different voices, like people like things, structures, and thought patterns that you've grown up around. But really, like, if you're inspired and like life is supposed to evolve, you're gonna obviously approach things from a unique way that's gonna be really helpful and maybe no one's ever done. So you can't like let these voices from the past or like the crowd that you're used to like psych you out. So not only is Vishnu walking on water, but also overcoming these voices and moving forward nonetheless, like wearing like a garland of roses and roses. Well, maybe there's a rose in there somewhere. I meant flowers. And still balancing like his ideas, his passions, like all these different things, like able to move forward despite everything. So it's like you need this type of bravery, kind of like what I was saying here, like be brave. to move forward despite all the noise and like what people might have told you about like what you're capable of. It's like, maybe someone told Vishnu you can't walk on water, but check him out right now. Like, totally doing that. Okay. And then we have positive change. Not as much detail on this, so it's like you don't have to look at it as long. All right, so with the wheel turning in the background, it's like things have come around now. So maybe things were really like terrible before, and suddenly you feel like wealthy inside. Like maybe your heart is full. You have like restored optimism. You're seeing things differently, and you have more gratitude. Maybe the physical, like money or abundance, like isn't right in front of you right now, but you feel it deep inside, or you see it in your mind's eye, and it exists like on some level. Then it does exist. Like you wouldn't be picking that up if it wasn't a reality of yours. So if you can like connect with that and affirm that and say like, yes, that is true and that exists in me, and it's inevitable, and yields to that abundance. And because like receiving messages or receiving at all, you're yielding to something coming towards you. So you have to kind of put your fears aside and just say like, okay, like I yield to this abundance coming towards me. Whether it's like, this deep satisfaction, whether it's like love. I mean, I don't know exactly what marriage clothing looks like. This could possibly be that. Anyway, like heavily adorned, and so it could either be like love or prosperity, or all those forms of abundance, of receiving good. So that's really great that like if you're brave enough to move forward and like follow your vision despite the voices, then that's going to create this change that will bring forth your abundance and satisfaction. And it's going to help you move beyond this like frustrated passion that you've been like holding in and like letting it burn you up, all right, and we have like so many of these mother piece cards. Okay, I'll have a look at them. Okay, we have the High Priestess, the Moon, I'll just do a few at a time, not to over, because it's not like a test. You have to remember all of them. Justice. Okay, maybe it's like telling a story if I look at them in a row. There's like 10 of them. The Two of Swords, the Ace of Cups, which is like really beautiful. Can you see like those? How fantastic that is. Wow, there's also the Ace of Pentacles. They're back to back. That's like, I get kind of chills from that. The Priestess of Swords. Whoa, okay. The Son of Cups. Or you could say like the Prince of Cups. Wow, the Star. Whoa, the Ten of Cups. The Lovers. Oh my God. The World. Oh my God, and the Ace of Wands. What? Well, okay, this new beginning that we were talking about, if you're brave enough to be yourself and not get psyched out, has like amazing consequences. By sitting in your power and working with your intuition, like you might seem a bit like scary to your friends if you're really like sitting in your power like this, but it's the way to like connect, and like, I mean, you can't go through life like never. I mean, people do this, but you shouldn't go through life without trying to sense your own power, like who you are, get to know yourself, like get even your. It's like I mean, I never studied martial arts, but like from my the little that I know from like other people, as that like knowing your weaknesses or knowing your opponent's weakness and stuff like is a strength. And so yeah, when you sit with yourself in contemplation, like looking at the good and the bad and like really discovering like what are these energies, like what makes up me, and how can I work with this, and what kind of magic is that. So it might be like I was saying, there might be some people who are not super on board with you owning your own power and doing things that are like spectacular or different, rising above your like being just like a regular human. Because like if you're always just towing the line and never doing anything out of the ordinary and never striving for your just true like excellence, like maybe you feel like you're making other people happy or comfortable by doing that, but like actually if we were all as excellent as we could be, despite like how uncomfortable that might make other people, like it's good because it brings everybody's game up. And like you can't be afraid of people criticizing you or saying like, you know, why are you so into yourself, or like, you know, you didn't have to run that fast, or whatever it is, like you didn't have to show me up, or what, you know. It's like sometimes we have to be so like centered in ourselves that it's like freaking people out. Like, it can be off-putting. It's like when I realized like oh man, like I'm psychic, like it's so fringe, like it's so awkward, you know. It's awkward to be different, and it's like you know, but at the same time it has many blessings with it. And it's like I wouldn't want to not be in my power or like own the fact that that's like useful to me and other people. So you just have to dare to be you know, and maybe in a way that the people around you like haven't dealt with yet. Okay, and then we have the moon. It's like super bright. I don't know if you can see that. So there's like sometimes the moon like means like things that are secret, or you know, it's like moon is also like really feminine quality. So it's like maybe things that exist as emotion or like unspoken emotion, or again this same type of like long held sort of secrecy that's very deep. That's kind of the feeling I get. Once you're comfortable with expressing that, there's like a sort of justice that occurs, and your community realizes that when you are connecting this way, it's very fruitful. It's like you're taming the beast and you're making a miracle of like flow happening, and you're succeeding at like productive contemplation. So all these like benefits, and this is a justice card, so all these like, it's proven that it's good, like what you're doing. Yeah, and you're trying to like balance between these two worlds of like what you know, like what you've already known, and like what you're bringing about. And it's like it takes a bit of like getting used to or practice, like not to, to like balance the new and the old. I feel like, and expressing that, because like sword is like communication energy. Because you're experiencing like a brand new renewal beginning, and it feels like amazing to be like diving into this information that's like deep inside you that is very meaningful and like life-giving. Sometimes when we do like come up with like a cool business idea and work on it, or like a creative project of another kind, or deciding to make a relationship creative. Oops, there's more comments. I'll put my glasses on. It's like, what's this? Yeah, and then it has also the two swans on here, and swans mate for life. So there's like a purity of love also within this card. That's like gonna bring about a solid new beginning. And I mean, I can't ignore the fact that there's a baby on this card. I mean, no pressure, but like a new beginning of sorts, or even the possibility of having a child for some. Let's throw these on for a second. I'll just read the comments if I can. Yeah, you can ask, because a couple people asking if they can ask a question. Sure, go ahead. So in this Ace of Disc, which is like Ace of Pentacles, like a grounded new beginning, there's images of acorns having the strength to tame like a leopard, it looks like, while being in your like childhood innocence, and this like stable kind of home life. So it's like the beginnings of, like oak trees are really solid, and so it's like the beginnings of something really solid that's, and also like a beginning of a bravery and like a stability. So when it comes to like these being side by side, it suggests like a relationship or the beginning of a business that is like super stable. And when you mix like love and groundedness, like that's like like really awesome. And then we have the Princess of Swords, which is being a visionary. And like, even though it's the middle of winter and things can't be like green and like fruitful at the moment, you still have that vision. You send out this vision of what you want into that cold winter, and you expect, in this case, this owl to return with the wisdom and like with the gift to come back to you. And then we have there's so many cards, but like my whole intent with this was just like a super long hangout, so I forgive myself for having so many cards, and hopefully you do too. Okay, so we have the Son of Cups. So in relation to this card that came before, of sending out your vision, what you want to create, I feel like it does come to fruition. And it might seem like at a somewhat immature state, like when it comes back, but it's still like it's not the most immature. It's like the medium. It's not like the King of Cups, but it's still like it's grown up, but it's not like the baby of cups either. So you still have to kind of explain yourself. Everyone's on board. Let me just put it that way. But they still want to hear you like riff about your idea and like and enjoy. If you're working with other people or if you're in a relationship, it's like you have this opportunity to talk about your dreams and what you want to create and like how excited you are about it and like kind of hype the project once, because like your wish is granted, but like don't be put off by having to do this other step of like sitting in your emotions, which is like the water, calmly, and like playing the music of like what that is, like what you want to bring about in this project. Okay, I'm just gonna pause to look at these. Aw, it's like nice. Yeah, like if people want to talk to each other or also like ask a question, you may. I'm just gonna keep on rocking with this reading in the meantime. It's like, just to recap, if you just joined us, we're talking about moving forward through your fears and through the voices of people's chatter to like rise above people's expectations towards positive change that is there for you. If you sit in your power, if you're comfortable with like what is deep down inside of you and expressing that, you know, so that people can see the positivity of what you're creating and the innate power of doing something that's inspired, and learning how to balance these energies of like what came before and what you're bringing through now, so that you can have this like beautiful new beginning and birth of creating something like solid. But it's going to take you also to send out your dreams bravely into what might appear like a lack situation, this winter kind of situation, and still have faith that it's going to come to life and that you're going to have friends on board with you, but you're going to be in this state of feeling super comfortable with how you feel, your emotions, like your deepest desires about what you want to create. And like, you know how like talking and music are different, and music is more like a channeling beauty or whatever, you know, in a nonverbal way. So I feel like the best way for these people to hear your message is through like the beauty of your song, for lack of a better word, like what is from your heart. That's not like from a logical place. Like some people might say, like sometimes logic can trip us up and stop us from doing something romantic or inspired. But you know, it's like people show up by the thousands to watch Jimi Hendrix solo, and like it's because he's comfortable with just the free flow of wherever his hands go. Like that's from trusting himself over and over again. And so you can make that an art form for yourself too, trusting yourself. Okay. Then we have also, okay, thanks David. Okay, then we have the Priestess of Discs. I promise to paint my nails next time. A bit of a tomboy tonight. Okay. This one I get like kind of a sad feeling, so I'm just gonna look at it for a second. I guess the feeling I get is like a bit of like loneliness. Like this is the priestess of discs. It's not like, I feel like she's worked super hard. Like she's planted this garden, you know, she's had a child, she's doing yoga. She's at the same time, she's using her psychic powers. She's like doing it all like by herself. And so there's a certain amount of like, a bit like this card where she wants to reach out and like touch someone real or something real. Like we've all been, you know, separated from each other through these quarantines, and it can be like useful in the sense that you get to know yourself better, but it can be like very painful because it's normal for us to have contact, and it's essential to, you know, go like, yes, I'm awesome, yes, I've done everything I can to build, but I need people to, like, I need to reach out, even if it's just at this stage of just musing about something to friends in like a open and loving way. And then that brings about the lovers, which is like amazing. And it also brings about the 10 of Cups, which is like the ultimate fulfillment. So you're going to get like whatever kind of partnership you're seeking, plus total fulfillment if you decide to share and you're not like hypercritical about like how alone you've been, or like maybe that you're just like speaking from your heart in a beautiful way, or sharing your, like deciding to like begin some important project to you. Not everything has to be about romance. Like certainly that's fun and stuff, and it can be good lessons or just joy or whatever, but it's not like the only form of togetherness that like the lovers can express. It's just like teaming up and feeling that awesome connection that's productive and takes you through a portal to another place. Like sometimes we need other people to like go beyond what we thought we could do, and joining forces sometimes does allow you to like step through to another completely different world, it seems like, where there can be great celebration with everybody and can make you shine brightly and be recognized as like a star, basically, because you've cleansed yourself with, like, you're so comfortable with your emotions at this point. You're at peace with yourself for having emotions, and you've sort of washed yourself with them, and it's made you healthy and glow as a result of that. And it's also giving you like the vision of an eagle, like oversight over stuff, so you're not like stumbling over every little piece of information or getting psyched out. And you also, and it's filling, and your emotions are also filling this vessel, so even by the end of it you have like extra to like nourish yourself with. So that's really beautiful. I was just seeing if there was a question. Okay, and then we have Daughter of Swords. This is a really nice card too. So by speaking your truth, like swords are communication, but she's also like clearly saying something is coming from her mouth. It's like she called forth this, like, what would seem impossible, this like beautiful white horse coming through out of nowhere, you know, through this pierced rock, like what was just like spinning energy. Like, you know how like when you're like passionate about something and it just feels like random spinning energy. We're just like, what do I even do with this feeling like? But then you focus that through something, a project that might just look like a stone donut, but you decide to give it focus. It can turn into this like white flying horse. Like it can actually become something if you focus that energy into whatever project you're conceiving of. Like it's kind of like let's say you never wrote a book. Like let's say you never wrote like a teen mystery novel, but you're just like, I have all this passion. Like it's frustrating being at home in quarantine. I'm just gonna focus all this like random like energy I have into this very specific thing of like writing a teen mystery novel. Like no pressure to do that, but that's just like it's coming to mind. And it's gonna be awesome because like you focused your energy and you spoke it into the world and it became so, so like whatever is your stone donut that you decide to put your energy through in a very focused manner will result in good, because anywhere you put your focus and passion is like magic. It's literally a form of magic to speak something into reality and to like focus. Like imagine if you did nothing else in a day but write this book, like you'd probably finish the book by the end of the day. And like the book Frankenstein was, I think, written in a day, and people like that book. So that's like high-fiving the idea of focus. All right. Yeah, and then the next card is the World, and like amazingly the Ace of Wands, like basically like winning it all and like the birth of a new passion. Like it really can't get any better. Like, so the rewards of you sitting in your power, like knowing, accepting and knowing, and like washing yourself with your deepest emotions, just letting it inform you like fearlessly and not getting freaked out by the voices of like doubt that come in different forms of like family, friends, co-workers, random people on the street, like whatever, your children, like wherever these voices of dissent come from, or even within your own mind. Like they say that like the subconscious, which is what brings things into reality, is in charge. And even if you have like stupid thoughts or negative thoughts or fearful thoughts, if you're always like, okay, yeah, but this other thing is stronger, this other thing is more true. So if you feel like you're haunted by a poverty mindset, it's like, yeah, but like deep down I'm like super rich and everything's fine. So if you always kind of like just make that like a bit above all this stupid like random thoughts that are not helpful and like unloving towards you, just always like keep like 1% above that, things will work out. Okay, and then with my millions of cards, I've never done a reading the song for the public, but here we go. Hope you're fine with it. Again, we have the World. It's like confirmation. And we also have upside down Seven of Wands. So it's like the end of fighting, the end of having to like fight through everybody else's passions to like have time for your own, So that's coming to an end. And also what's coming to an end is like feeling frozen in contemplation and fear. Like that's over too. And you're like, some people might see this card as like negative, but like it really depends on the reading, I don't really see it as that. I see it as like you're not looking at what's before you, what's right in front of you, and your intuition is guiding you towards strength, and you have personal barriers now that are like nobody's gonna like attack your heart, with the illusion of like things not working out in the moment is not going to affect your vision and the clarity and the strength and communication with which you're going to like go after your dreams. And then we have judgment, which is like spirit, like this is like people. Sorry, I'm giggling. It's not like mature, but like it's kind of like people coming out of quarantine. Like, but in this case, like, just because they're not wearing clothes doesn't mean they're coming out of quarantine like nude out into the streets or whatever. It's just like you're comfortable, yourself, and you're okay with your vulnerability, let's say. Okay. So spirit has called you, you've heard it like loudly, and you can't ignore it anymore. And it's sort of made you rise from the dead of just being like fearful or hiding or being too quiet or not sharing with people, like to enjoy life, whatever. So it's like these guys got up, and then there's all these other smaller people in the background who are so happy too that you did that. It's like, yes, like, I'm so awesome that you came out, that you answered the call. Because like, I don't know if I should get into this little story, whatever, but like, maybe not right now. Okay, no personal asides right now, but suffice to say that we don't, like, as I said before, like, we're not waiting for like other people's weird, mean ideas of like how we should act. Like, let's say you're dating and people have like ideas that you're not cool with. You're just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good being awesome, and I don't need to send you that photo, and I'm like actually gonna walk on this water instead and like be awesome wearing like a necklace of flowers instead of doing stuff I really don't want to do, because I'm listening to spirit. I'm not listening to like random snakes around my head like in this card. And like I hear the call and I'm comfortable with being me. And like apparently some other people are also comfortable with being themselves, and we're gonna like have an awesome time being comfortable with ourselves. Like even this guy in the background, I don't know if you can see him, he's like in the middle there, he's like super stoked that this is all happening. So like maybe by you stepping out and going like, you know what, like I'm gonna follow my inspiration and intuition, and then that inspires somebody else that you know, or just some like random guy on the metro. I don't know who that guy is in the background, but he's very happy. And you know, it's contagious. Like if you're walking around during quarantine and like you're supposed to be playing the character of like, I'm bummed out that it's quarantine, and then you see someone who's just radiantly at peace or happy, or like, I could be doing that too. So it's a good, your reminder from spirit is like a heads up for other people if it's contagious. I'm just gonna, this is my first video of read comments because my eyesight's terrible. How much will I get on my unemployment check? Okay. Whose reading is this? I mean, this is for everybody. This is like, if it resonates, awesome. Otherwise, it's a reading. Okay, and then we have you leaving behind what you tried. You tried your best, like with some things, and it's like, you know what? Like this riverbed has dried up. Like these cups are supposed to be overflowing with water. That river is supposed to be overflowing with water, and it's like sometimes you just have to go like, you know, yeah, like maybe I studied this in school and now I feel like I need to do this other thing, and maybe what you learned in school somehow like dovetail perfectly with what this new project you're doing, but like you need to acknowledge that maybe you've given all you can to certain situations, certain people, and you are like going off, like part of this, like hearing the call. Let's say this guy heard that trumpet from spirit and he's like, hold up, I'm gonna turn around and leave this dry riverbed where like nothing's really happening, and I've really put in years, months, weeks, whatever, like 8 something, and I'm gonna walk towards Twin Peaks over here. Yeah, I'm gonna go towards new challenges, like new horizons, you know. And there's a certain amount of like, yes, I'm doing something different, and I'm like in a completely different position, but it's this new perspective is giving me wisdom about what I've been doing. Like you could say that like this whole COVID thing has turned us all into this shape